Hey plant geeks, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be revealing some truths about myself, so I thought it would be better if I stayed a little bit anonymous.
Just kidding. If this is your first time on my channel, I just wanted to introduce myself. Hello, my name is Adam, and if you've been around a while, well then welcome back. So Whole30 is finally over, although we're still kind of just eating Whole30, but that does mean I can have a drink again. So I have brought out one of my favorite bourbons, Buffalo Trace. And today we are doing the Never Have I Ever plant tag YouTube video. Now, I did one of these videos a couple weeks ago with Becca de la Plants and My Clean Leaves. Nicole, we collaborated. We met up early March and filmed our collaboration videos, and they just were released a couple weeks ago. But this plant tag, Never Have I Ever, has been circulating YouTube, started by Girl with a Garden. I was tagged by Nick Pileggi. Because he tagged me, I decided that I would go ahead and answer these Never Have I Ever questions as well. Some of them are the same as the video that Becca, Nicole, and I did, but some of them are different. Let's get into it. Now, I know Never Have I Ever from being a card/drinking game that we used to play in high school, college. So since today is Sunday, we're having some drinks. We are going to do a little bit of self-care with a peel-off gel mask. And don't worry, it says on the container for men. So that means dudes, you are allowed to use this. Honestly, this is probably one of my biggest pet peeves on products. I don't know if marketing, if it's like this huge upsell to have for men and make guys feel okay buying a face mask. Look, if you care about your skin, if you care about how you look, I don't feel like that makes you any less masculine. And if you feel like it does, then maybe you need to check yourself a little bit. But I bought this one because it was the only one I saw on the shelf. It has a very, very strong like cologne scent, but I actually like how my skin feels afterwards, so it's probably decent. I don't know. Also, guys, don't buy the body wash, shampoo, conditioner all in one. Just don't do it. Okay, so like I said, Nick tagged me in this video, so I'm going to pull up all the questions that I am supposed to answer today. I believe there are 20 of them, and I poured a pretty big glass of bourbon, so don't get wild. So I'm gonna put on this mask while I'm answering the questions/drinking. This is gonna be a shit show. And to put on said mask, I'm using this little rubber thingy-majig that it came with. If you have never done one of these and you see this video and you're thinking, oh, well, I wanna do that. If you have facial hair, just be sure to not get this anywhere near eyebrows, beard. Okay, so the first question is, never have I ever killed a cactus. Yep, I most definitely have killed a cactus. You know I'm gonna do this. I most definitely have killed a cactus. Cactus was not a genus or a family of plants that I was super into until I moved here to Arizona. Mostly because in the Midwest, it's really not easy. Aside from Nicole at My Clean Leaves, it's really not easy. It wasn't easy for me to keep them alive. Cacti and succulent need very, very bright light, which if you're anywhere outside of the desert, that's like a south window. Like they have to be in an uncovered south window. And so sometimes that's not the easiest for people to do, and it wasn't the easiest for me. So I definitely went through my fair share of cactus deaths, but I've slowly been putting my cactus, succulent, the plants that really enjoy that heavy light outside here in Arizona, and they really have been super happy. So that's new for me. I've never really kept plants outside, and it actually, oh no, that's all in my eyebrow. That's gonna hurt. What was I talking about? Yeah, hopefully I won't have too many more cactus deaths. Okay, question number 2. Never have I ever took a plant cutting that was on the ground of a plant nursery? This isn't a secret. I've said this before, but I have taken succulents that were on the floor / ground at a big box store. Do I think I should have? No, I probably shouldn't have. But they were most definitely going to be thrown away or swept up or trampled on. So it was when I was kind of first collecting plants and I was just learning that you could propagate a succulent from a leaf. And so when I was in this said big box store and saw them all on the ground, I was like, oh, I'm going to take those home and propagate them and have my own. However, none of them lived. I did not do it right. Also was living in the Midwest during that time. Again, I probably didn't give them the best light. Alas, I did take some. They didn't make it. Okay, so mask is fully applied. Question number 3. Never have I ever spent more than $100 on one plant. Yeah, definitely have. I definitely have. But that plant is still alive, so that's a win. Number 4, never have I ever bought a plant just because it was trending on Instagram. Most definitely. The plant is actually behind me. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pilea peperomioides. This was, from what I can remember, but it was my first Instagram famous plant because it was the it plant when I was first starting to really get into collecting houseplants. True story, I actually threw this exact plant away a few months ago because I was just having one of those days. I was going through my collection, looking at my plants, and then I was just deciding that a good chunk of them were not bringing me joy, and they definitely weren't. The jury is still out on this one, but as I threw this plant away, I uprooted it from its pot and I just put it in the garbage can, and I looked down and I saw this. A little tiny baby, which was not this big. This has grown quite a bit, but a little tiny baby was finally making its way up the side of the pot. And I saw that sitting in the trash and I felt immensely guilty about it. And I decided to repot it into this pot, give it some new potting mix, and it actually has done so much better. So honestly, it was my own issue of why this plant wasn't growing well. I wasn't giving it sufficient water. I wasn't giving it sufficient light. I've kind of changed that. We're kind of trying to find our rhythm. The little baby has grown a lot, so that makes me happy. But this was, what was the question that we were talking about? Oh, Instagram famous. This was the Instagram famous plant that I bought. Number 5, never have I ever met another plant tuber. Plant tuber, plant YouTuber, plant tuber, plant tuber. Becca from Becca Daily Plants, and Nicole, My Clean Leaves, we all met because we do YouTube, and we've established this really strong friendship, which is, it just makes my heart happy. So if I wouldn't have been doing YouTube, I don't know if I would have met them, and I don't know if I would have developed this friendship that is such a joy in my life. So I am really grateful for that. I would like to meet more. I think it would be fun to get together and have a group get together, but yes, I have met plant tubers. Question number 6. Never have I ever neglected a plant and purposely let it die a slow death. Well, first of all, it was not a slow death. It was actually a very quick death, and yes, I have. It was my Hoya Bella. It bloomed for me 3 times. Absolutely beautiful plant. It just kept getting spider mites, and you can kind of see, but all of my plants are like in the same, they're all kind of grouped together, and I was treating it and they just kept coming back. So clearly that was my issue, but I didn't want to risk it. So I decided to put the Hoya Bella outside, and it very quickly died. So it's a little bit too dry in the desert for the Hoya Bella, which I knew. So yeah, I purposely killed it. Number 7, never have I ever purchased a plant and then later regretted buying it. every calathea ever purchased. All of them. I absolutely love calathea. Every time I see one in a store, it's like my heart jumps. Their siren call is like calling me to take them home, but the second I get them home, I instantly regret it. Never can keep them happy or healthy. I cannot give them the humidity they love. I can't keep spider mites off of them. Just all of the things, all of the issues that people have with calathea is definitely what I have, but I absolutely love the plants. I really wish that I lived in a part of the world where I could see them in their natural habitat. I just can't do that in my house. So, number 8, never have I ever bargained with a plant seller on a sale of a plant. Never. I have never done that. I'm gonna take a drink now, but it's water and I need it just to stay hydrated. I was a customer service manager at Toys R Us in college. It really gave me some good life experience. And I think because of that, I just am not a very picky, I'm just not a difficult buyer. A lot of that stemmed from the fact that people like see a damaged box for a product or a toy and they wanted 10-20% off just because the box had a dent in it. Oh man, that annoyed me so much. So I don't really feel like I would do that for a plant. I haven't done that for a plant. There might be situations if I was like really wanting a plant and it like clearly was infected with pests or was almost dead, then maybe I would ask like, hey, like, can I get a discount on this? But I don't even know if then I probably just wouldn't buy it. That's just not the type of person that I am. It makes me feel weird to try to bargain, which is why going car shopping is literally my worst nightmare ever. I mean, there's probably a lot of worse nightmares, but car shopping is really up there. Number 9, never have I ever killed a rare plant. I don't like to use the word rare because I think it's flippantly thrown around and it's used very clickbaity on YouTube. But I have killed a hard to find plant, which you would consider rare, I guess. Philodendron Ring of Fire I got about a year ago from NSE Tropicals, along with my Philodendron Thai Sunrise, which is right off camera here and is currently standing about 5 feet tall. I bought them both at the same time. The Philodendron Ring of Fire met a very, very quick death. That would probably be the most uncommon plant that I've ever purchased that died. So, yeah. Whoops. Number 10. We're only halfway through. How's the mask? Number 10. Never have I ever traveled over an hour to shop and visit at a plant nursery. I've definitely traveled over an hour multiple times and shopped at a nursery, but that wasn't the sole reason for the trip. But when I was living in Bloomington, Illinois, there is a greenhouse in the Chicago suburbs, I think Tinley Park, and it's Ted's Greenhouse. If you live in the area, you definitely need to go visit Ted's Greenhouse if you haven't. Their cactus selection, their cactus house is amazing. And I just think about it now and I think of all the missed opportunities I had because I just kind of turned my nose up at the cactus selection because I couldn't ever keep them alive. But that is where I bought my Philodendron Florida Beauty. It was a 1-leaf cutting. And now here we are, this beauty bright red stem, super tall. I've actually cut this twice already and it is still a very bushy plant. But yes, I have traveled to Ted's greenhouse, which was about an hour and a half from where I lived, and I have done that multiple times because their selection there is just amazing. Question number 11. Never have I ever bought a plant that was so large I could barely fit it in my car. No, I've never done that. I've never bought a plant that big. I mean, I'm definitely not against buying plants that big, but I tend to buy much smaller plants because I kind of like to watch the process of them growing. I like to watch them go from a small cutting to a larger plant. If I came across a plant that I really wanted and it was huge and it wouldn't fit in my car, I probably would still buy it and figure out how to get it home. Number 12, never have I ever showered with my plants. Now, just to be clear here, I don't take plants into the shower with me. Well, maybe I have, but my staghorn fern actually hangs in my shower currently. That's its permanent home. My shower slash bathroom is probably maybe like a 15 to 17 foot ceiling. It's kind of a vaulted ceiling, but in the shower is the highest part of the ceiling and there's a giant window. So the staghorn fern hangs in the shower and it just is loving life. So I guess yes. I mean, every time I'm shower, that plant is in the shower. It has definitely seen some stuff. Number 13, never have I ever went on a no plant buy and it was successful. This one's a thinker. Okay. Man, they should have put this as the first question. So have I ever done a no plant buy that was successful? So did I go on a no plant buy? No, I'm going to drink because I've never done a no plant buy. Like I've just never gone on one of those. Number 14, never have I ever gotten a plant for free. I have gotten a few plants for free, but my first ever free plant was, you know what? I'll go get it. This Sansevieria or Dracaena Bantel Sensation was the first plant that I ever received as a free plant. And I got this from my friend Heather, who works at Growing Grounds, which was a local nursery when I was living in Bloomington. She had a huge pot of this Bantel Sensation, and I think a customer maybe knocked into it or knocked it over, and it needed to be repotted. And this was just a couple cuttings that came from her repotting it, and she asked if I wanted it, and of course I was like, yes, I would love to have a piece of that. And I think it was only like maybe these 3 leaves, and it has now grown all of that. This plant is special to me because of where it came from, because of who it came from. So I absolutely love this Sansevieria. I think it's one of the most beautiful versions or species in the Sansevieria family, Dracaena family, whatever you want to say. This was my first free plant that I ever remember, and I absolutely love it. Number 15, never have I ever bought a plant as a gift for someone else, but then decided to keep it for myself instead. No, I mean, I have a bunch of plants that I bought for my sister that I haven't given to her, so they're still kind of just hanging out here. I'm still caring for them. And I've bought plants for people as gifts, but also purchased one at the same time for myself. I don't think that would count because I still gave them theirs, so no. Haven't done that yet. Number 16, never have I ever sold a plant online. Also, another no drink, but I'm going to have some water because I've drank a lot of bourbon. I do have quite a few plants that I feel like I could sell online, but it just makes me nervous. I don't want to take the risk of sending somebody something and either it dies or something happens in transit, and that's kind of, I would just feel guilty about that. So that's kind of stopped me from trying to sell plants online. I mean, maybe eventually I will, but no, I haven't ever sold, like for money, sold a plant online. Number 17, never have I ever deleted mean or inappropriate comments on YouTube. I definitely have zero issues with deleting mean or inappropriate comments. Most of the comments I feel like I've deleted have been inappropriate. But if someone's mean to me, if someone's mean to any of my subscribers or anybody else who comments, like for sure that will be deleted. I have no issues with that whatsoever. But I feel like for the most part, I've just had to delete inappropriate comments. Number 18, never have I ever bought a plant with the intent to propagate its cuttings for sale. No. I mean, that's kind of going back to the have I sold plants online, and that's a whole no, so I don't think I would buy plants just to sell the cuttings. Number 19, never have I ever went to a big box store run and not gone to the garden center. Never have I ever went to a big box store run and not gone to the garden center. I feel like I've had too much bourbon for this to be logical. So have I went to a big box store and not gone to the garden center? I mean, I don't have to go to the garden center every single time I go to the big box store, but I feel like I've kind of made it a habit. So maybe that's why I drink. We've made it to the last question. And it's good because my face mask is getting really, really dry. Number 20. Never have I ever met some of my followers in person. I have definitely met people who subscribe to my YouTube channel who follow me on Instagram. I've definitely met them in person. It wasn't like, I don't know if I've ever had the instance where I've met a complete stranger in person that was following me that I had no communication with. But I've definitely met people that I've like just only known from Instagram or YouTube, and then kind of we've met in real life, and it's been awesome and I love it. I just don't think I've ever ran into just some random person I've never had any communication with and they were like, oh hey, I follow you on Instagram, or I've subscribed to your YouTube channel. Like, it would be fun. My face would probably turn bright red because I'm an introvert and I get very shy, but I would also love to meet anyone. So keep that in mind. We did it. We did it. I think I'm gonna zoom in and have a little ASMR moment. Can we see that? Ooh, that's a little bit too wet. Okay, well that's all the questions. So it would now be time for me to tag some people, and those people would be Becca from Becca De La Plants and Nicole from My Clean Leaves. You are officially tagged by me to do this Never Have I Ever challenge, because we already all did it once, but this time you can drink. I'm gonna try to guess what you both are gonna drink. Nicole is gonna be a Jack in diet, although she's kind of been going away from diet. Jack and juice, which is weird to me because it should be gin and juice. Laid back. But Jack and juice. And Becca, what would Becca drink? I feel like Becca would drink Malibu in something. I was at her house though and I don't remember seeing alcohol. I feel like it would be a mixed drink with Malibu and or some kind of margarita or Mike's Hard Lemonade or something like that. Anyway, both of you are tagged. It's your turn to do the Never Have I Ever and get a little tipsy. I was gonna try to peel off this entire mask on camera, but my forehead is moist. Mostly I think because I've been sweating because of my anxiety of filming every single time. Anyway, it's a weird face to have. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Click that subscribe button if you aren't one of my subscribers already. I would really, really appreciate it. Very, very much so. And as always, I appreciate you hanging out with me. Thanks for watching.